From the National Newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo. Toronto has been awarded the WNBA's first franchise outside the United States and the league's 14th overall. The expansion basketball team for women set to begin play in 2026. The team will be owned by the Larry Tannenbaum-led Kilmer Sports Ventures. He also is the chairman and a minority owner of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, which owns several Toronto sports franchises, including the NBA's Raptors and the Maple Leafs of the NHL. Tannenbaum says the team will also play some games in Vancouver and Montreal. Many questions are swirling in the head of a corrections reform expert about Sunday's major assault on convicted serial killer Robert Pickton. The BC pig farmer was attacked at Quebec's maximum security Port Cartier prison, where he was serving time for murdering 6 of the 26 women he was accused of killing. Pickton remains hospitalized in Quebec City with life-threatening injuries. Howard Sapers, who used to serve as Canada's correctional investigator, wants to know how the attack happened and the conditions at the facility at the time. He said it's difficult to know if the Pickton assault was spontaneous and if it was random or targeted. Canada is one of the world's top donors for foreign aid, but new data shows that nearly 1/5 of the spending goes toward refugees and Ukrainians within Canada. That's according to an analysis from the OECD, a club of mostly rich countries, which found that 19% of Canada's aid money is spent at home. University of Ottawa professor Christina Clark-Kazak says Canada is abiding by the rules in how it reports data, which shows how people around the world are fleeing wars and disasters linked to climate change.
They have a specific definition of what you're allowed to count as official development assistance. So it's not like Canada's doing something wrong or doing something that other countries don't do. But I do think that people are not aware of it.
A large chunk of the funding has gone to Ukrainians, whom Canada welcomed on a temporary basis. Tuesday's powerful tornado left 5 people dead and nearly 36 injured in and around the small city of Greenfield, Ohio. The tornado was rated at least an EF3. And the NHL's Western Conference Final gets underway tonight, featuring Canada's last remaining team in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers meet the Dallas Stars in Texas. The Oilers needed all 7 games to dispatch the Vancouver Canucks on Monday and advance. The Stars took care of the Colorado Avalanche in 6 games last week. Canadian Press reporter Josh Clipperton says it's a series with 2 well-balanced teams.
It should be some great hockey. We've got some really talented teams, some different ways of playing. You know, the Oilers are a much more top-heavy team. They really lean on Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, whereas the Dallas Stars have a much more balanced attack with 4 lines that can really hurt you in any way.
This is the Canadian Press. In sports, the Toronto Blue Jays erupted for 7 runs in the second inning on their way to a 9-2 victory over the visiting Chicago White Sox Wednesday night. It was the Jays' first series win in a month. The Jays next go to Detroit for a 4-game series that opens Thursday night. In Stanley Cup playoff action, round 3 got underway between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. The Panthers came out 3-0 winners in Game 1 of that Eastern Conference final. The Edmonton Oilers will open up the Western Conference final in Dallas when they take on the Stars in Game 1 Thursday night. In the NBA playoffs, the Dallas Mavericks take Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals over the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Canadian basketball star Shai Gilgeous-Alexander of the Oklahoma City Thunder is a unanimous selection to the All-NBA first team. Thanks to the All-NBA nod, the 25-year-old will be eligible to sign a 4-year extension worth about $294 million U.S. From the Canadian Press, I'm Karen Rebo.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.